All right, now we have made our way to T, time bound, in our SMART goal framework. This is the final piece of the puzzle, really. Um, Time bound, you're going to be asking yourself two questions or three questions. When will we start? When will we finish? And then what checkpoints can I set along the way? That's really what you want to know. You're thinking about time, right? You're looking at your calendar and you're plotting things, right? Milestones, if you will. Here's the definition I want you to take away. Time bound means to anchor your goal with a clear deadline. A time bound goal creates urgency and helps you stay focused by setting a specific date or a time frame for completion. All right, so let's pull up our goal that we've been working with, that we've been refining. Let's go through it again just for your recollection. In order to pay, so this is the before, in order to pay off a major credit card, I will save $200 a month by skipping Starbucks runs and eating out only once a week. My stretch goal is to save 250 by just skipping Starbucks and pausing a streaming service for 6 months. All right. So now when we want to make it time bound, we're going to add a date to it. So we're going to keep the same goal as it's written, but we're going to add December 31st to it. In order to pay off a major credit card by December 31st of this year, I will save $200 a month by skipping Starbucks runs and eating out only once a week. My stretch goal is to save 250 by skipping Starbucks and pausing a streaming subscription for 6 months. Look, I know you're probably thinking right now, this is a lot. Like, I don't really know. I barely know what my goal is. How am I going to get this specific with it? That is why, that's why I want you to sit with each one of these. I want you to sit with your goals. I want you to sit with I want you to really make sure it's something that you are passionate about, that you believe in. And I want you to refine it because when you are clear, when there is clarity, there's no room for error. That's number one. But then that's how much closer you'll get to the finish line. That's how you'll know you'll be successful, right? There is no way by having a goal and a stretch goal, mind you, that you want to, first of all, you want to pay off a major credit card and you want to pay it off by the end of the year. And you're going to do it by saving $200 a month. And just in case you just can't come up with that $200, you've given yourself some ideas. You're going to skip Starbucks and you're going to pause a streaming subscription. This is the how, the when, the where, right? The what. It answers all those questions. It makes sure that you are set up for success. If you want to actually set yourself up for success, if you really want to set goals and achieve those goals, you have to be clear. There must be clarity. That is a whole point of the SMART goal framework: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If you're just out here all willy nilly, okay, saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, then you probably won't be successful because you're not clear. I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I'm being serious. So I want to see you achieve your goals just as much as you want to see yourself achieve them. Okay. I want everybody that's watching this, I want everybody who's going through this challenge, no matter when you're going through this challenge, I want you to be successful. That is the whole purpose of why I came up with this process, this whole vision book process. I wanted to be a little bit more intentional than just creating a vision board with all the pretty pictures, which we're going to do. But we're also going to be very clear and very intentional about what we're working towards so we can actually get those things accomplished right later on. I'm going to say one more thing before I go off on a tangent, but I've said this in a previous video, but my background is in project and program management. And what I noticed as a project manager or a program manager, in that capacity, I saw that we would set goals, but we refined those goals, but we were oftentimes, we would go and we would shift things throughout the year. We would make adjustments because the times we'd have to make adjustments was when we were not clear enough. And I'm telling you that this wasn't like a goal of 250 or 3K per year. We were working on $3 million and $30 million projects. That was a lot of money. So being clear and having clarity means so much to me, especially when you are dealing with that amount of money. I want you to feel the same way about your goals and your dreams and your passions, right? Doesn't matter how much money is attached to it, anything like that. We all have been placed here for a purpose to do something really specific. And in order to get to that thing, we have to be very clear when we are sitting down and thinking about what we want to work towards for the year. Not only do we want to make sure those goals make sense and that they're clear, but we have to make sure that those goals are aligned with God. So now that we have stepped through each of the different components of the SMART goal framework, I want you to stop and say a prayer. I want you to pray over these goals that you have clarified and you have refined and refined and refined all week. And I want you to ask God, do these goals align with what you really want me to do? Because God, if they don't, I will not work towards them. And guess what you wouldn't have done? You wouldn't have wasted time, you wouldn't have wasted any money, and you wouldn't have wasted any resources towards these goals because you have asked the right question up front. You've asked the Lord the right questions up front, right? The whole point of this entire exercise is for us to write down the visions that God has given us and make them plain, make them clear. All right. I'm off my soapbox. I'm done for real this time. All right, y'all. So that's it. We're going to recap in the next activity, but that is it. All right. I want you to get back to work. I wish you the best. I want to see you succeed. And if this exercise, the SMART Goal Framework exercise, has blessed you, please tell me in the chat. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Okay? I'm going to talk to you later. All right. Y'all have been great. This has been exciting. This has been fun, but I want to see you win. Okay? I want to see you get to the finish line. Get your goals clarified. All right. I'll talk to you later.